Hello. Now live with the Profit Protector Pro deep dive training webinar. Um, oh, that's flown by since I did the last one. um, hello everyone. If you haven't seen me before, my name is Matt. You might have seen me on a YouTube video or in a podcast, or maybe if you've been watching the training videos in Profit Protector Pro on YouTube. Also, the full walkthrough on the Profit Protector Pro website, that's me as well. So you might have seen me or heard me somewhere before, but if you haven't, my name is Matt, and I'm going to be your host for this deep dive training webinar. So if you haven't joined me on one of these before and you aren't sure how it works, basically once a month we host one of these where I am more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have about Profit Protector Pro, any of the features, anything to do with PPP. And what we will do is we are going to work through a couple of videos all about certain features within the software. Then we're going to come back and discuss it, and then we'll move on and so forth. And again, if you have any questions about anything, just let me know in the comment section. Now, there should be a little link above me somewhere. And I think if you click that, then I'll basically be able to see who it is that is talking to me. So that way I'm not playing guessing games, trying to figure out who is who. But yeah, hello. But yeah, that's the link above me. It should be above me somewhere. Yeah, if you click that, I can basically see who you are. It is absolutely roasting wherever you are. I don't know if it will be. I don't know if it's somewhere in. Yeah, it's somewhere in the UK. So yeah, it's really hot. Like, I'm sweating right now. I would love to have the window open, but it's actually really noisy out there. So yeah, I got to sweat. Oh wow. I can't see who that is. Let me know where you're from. Yeah, always curious to know where everyone is from, what the weather is doing there, like every British person talks about. But yeah, super hot. It's been this way for a couple of weeks now. We are well and truly into summertime. In fact, I think it was the longest day yesterday. I think that's right. Summer solstice, I think, is what they call it. I'm not sure if that's right, but yeah, longest day yesterday. So I hope that whatever you're doing, it was great. I was having a beer yesterday. But yeah, with that being said, I think we should crack on with the webinar now. So as I say, we're going to watch a series of videos discussing features about Profit Protector Pro. Then we're going to come back, and if you have any questions about them, ping them at me in the comments, and I will do my very best to answer anything that you want to know. So the first video, by the way, all of the features that we're going to be talking about today, there's no theme to it today. I just thought it'd be a good idea just to pick different bits and bobs in Profit Protector Pro, so we have a broader palette of things to show you and discuss. So I've just picked a load of different things that I think are useful to talk about. So yeah, there's no theme or anything like that today. Well, I tell a lie, there is a theme between two of the videos, but yeah, the first one that I want to show you is about the new small and light system. At this point, you'd have probably seen it by now. It is a couple of weeks old, I think, but it's really useful. And if you weren't sure how it works, watch this video and then you'll understand. We'll come back and discuss it afterwards. So yeah, I'll catch you in a couple of minutes. But I'm going to explain what this is, how it works, and how it can help you. Now, Small and Light is the program on Amazon whereby you can enroll eligible products into it and save on fulfillment fees, meaning that you can increase your profit margin. So any item that is eligible for Small and Light, enroll it, and it's going to help you out big time. And Profit Protector Pro is going to do this work for you. So on Amazon, it's a bit of a faff going to every single product individually and enrolling each one in Small and Light. Now Profit Protector Pro is going to make this 10 times easier for you. So for every single item in Profit Protector Pro, it's going to have the little S and L indicator, then it'll have a little color. So it's going to tell you the status of the product in regards to Small and Light and if you can enroll it or not. So if you see grey like this SKU cannot be enrolled in the Small and Light program as it does not meet all requirements necessary. If you see orange, this is where the item is eligible for Small and Light, but you haven't enrolled it yet. And if that is the case, there is a little enroll button that will appear next to the item, and then you can enroll it, and Profit Protector Pro will do that for you. And if you see green, the item is eligible and you have enrolled it in Small and Light. Now this is super useful to see for all of your items because it basically shows you which of your items you can save money on in terms of fulfillment fees, because obviously it's a smaller fulfillment fee. If you have an item in Profit Protector Pro where it hasn't received the SKU yet from Amazon, it will have just the regular small and light toggle. You can turn that on and Profit Protector Pro will take this into account ready for when it does sync the SKU across. Now in your account settings, Profit Protector Pro settings, you'll notice the new small and light auto enroll toggle. Now this is such a powerful little toggle that's going to do a lot of work for you. So small and light auto enroll. When turned on, this setting will automatically enroll all eligible items into the small and light program. How good is that? So anything that is eligible, Profit Protector Pro is going to go ahead, enroll it in small and light for you, and you've saved a lot of money on your fulfillment fee. So literally by turning this off, you don't have to do anything else. Profit Protector Pro is going to do it for you. Of course, you don't have to have it on. If you turn it off and you still want to enroll things in the small and light program through Profit Protector Pro. Again, you can do that individually on the repricing page per item that is eligible but not yet enrolled. Or go ahead, let Profit Protector Pro do it all for you. Get as many items in small and light as you can possibly get. Turn it on, see how much it can help you. You'll also get the small and light indicators and toggles within the Chrome extension as well, so you can set this up in advance when you go to use the Chrome extension. So that is the new small and light system in Profit Protector Pro. Such an amazing feature that has been added into the system. It's going to make life a whole lot easier. Let's get back to the webinar. There we go. So that's the small and light system. Have you fixed it? Yes, you have. Yeah, I can see you now. Hi, Emma. Yeah, that's the new small and light system. It's awesome because you can just like right off the bat see if you're eligible to enroll that item in small and light. You can see if you have done it. It just makes things a whole lot easier. I mean, in that video, it's kind of hard because like I'm using like a test account, so I don't get all of the colors. But you'll have red, as I said in the video, if it's not eligible and you can't enroll it, orange if it is eligible and you have yet to enroll it, and then green if it's both eligible and you have enrolled it. In the Chrome extension as well, where you have add a new SKU, if you're wondering why you don't get the color indicators there, basically in that Chrome extension, when you've got it add a new SKU, it's as if you're setting up a brand new SKU. So obviously that's something that you haven't got in your Seller Central account yet. It's not synced through to Profit Protector Pro. So just like with the pricing as well, if you were replenishing an item, you went through to the Chrome extension and it had added a new SKU and you were like, where's the pricing? You haven't selected that SKU. So it's going to be as if you're setting up a completely new entry for the item. So it won't have those same indicators. It won't have the pricing that you've already set up in Profit Protector Pro if you are revisiting it after it has synced into your account. If it is a current SKU that you have in your account, if it's something that's been in there and you are going back to the Chrome extension to view it and you've selected that from the drop down list, then you'll get the prices that you've entered in for the item and you'll get the color indicators as well. So just in case you're wondering what was going on there, that is you just need to make sure that you remember to check the little SKU drop down thing in the little SKU drop down list at the top of the Chrome extension. Hi, Anne. So yeah, that's the new small and light system. I hope you guys are loving it. It saves so much time. Like it's just great. I can't big that one up enough. So we're going to move on now to the next video. So I was originally going to do it on the new Seller Central inventory sync toggle, and I just thought, why not cover every single way that you can possibly remove something from Profit Protector Pro? All of those ways will come in handy at some point. It's really important to routinely keep on top of your Profit Protector Pro inventory, make sure that everything is relevant and up to date, that you don't have a load of entries in there that you no longer use that are just sitting there taking up space. So knowing every single way to remove things from Profit Protector Pro to keep it well, clean, then yeah, I thought I'd do this video showing every single way. So I'm going to play that for you now, and then I'm going to come back to you in a couple of minutes. Products from your Profit Protector. I'm going to show you every single way that you can remove products from your Profit Protector Pro account. Now, this is really important to do because it's going to help keep your inventory up to date, relevant, and it helps you avoid any potential mistakes. So let's say you have an item in your Profit Protector Pro account where you've got a couple of repeats of it. You have a few entries for the same ASIN, but they've got like different SKUs, for example. Maybe there's a couple of SKUs that you've not had in stock for a long while, and you might go entering in the min and max prices for those, then wondering what's going on with your item in terms of repricing. You've not entered in that min and max price for that current item. It was actually for one of the older entries. And so having removed those just means that you avoid mistakes like that. So it's a really good routine to get into to keep your Profit Protector Pro inventory tidy and up to date. Now there's a couple of different ways that you can do that, and I'm going to show you them all. So you can remove items individually using the little bin icon here. Now please note, if you remove something from Amazon Seller Central, you then need to go into Profit Protector Pro and remove it in here too. So you need to do that separately for both. So deleting this SKU will remove it from your Profit Protector Pro account, but not from your Seller Central. Please note, SKUs deleted from Profit Protector Pro which were added to your Amazon account within the last 24 hours will be re-added to Profit Protector Pro when it syncs with your Amazon account. So basically, if you have an active item in here and you remove it by accident, in time it will resync back into Profit Protector Pro because it is active. It will appear in the reports when Profit Protector Pro and Amazon sync together, and so it will reappear back in your account. Don't worry, you've not lost that item. It will reappear. So you can do that individually with the bin icon, or you can use the bulk select option. So you can select all, which is everything on the page, or you can work your way down and select individual items or marketplaces. You can check off whatever it is that you want to select. Select all on the page. And then there's 3 different actions here. So you can turn them all on for repricing, you can turn them all off for repricing, or you can delete them. If you tick this option here, select all X amount filtered, that is basically everything in your Profit Protector Pro account, or everything that you filtered out if you have applied a filter. Once you have selected everything that you want to delete or turn on or off for repricing, depending what you're doing, you just need to click on the tick icon here. It'll ask you if you're sure you want to do that, and then just yes or no. And then you will have removed all selected items. Now, a new feature that got added in, which can help you keep your inventory tidy for you, is this new toggle in your account settings. So in the Profit Protector Pro settings tab of your account, you can see the Seller Central inventory sync toggle. So let's take a look at this. When turned on, this setting will automatically delete items that are no longer present in your Seller Central account. Products that are no longer detected in Seller Central will be hidden after 24 hours and then permanently deleted after 30 days. Hidden listings will reappear if this setting is turned off again. So if there's anything hidden, if you turn the toggle off, they will reappear back in your repricing page. But if you say have removed an item from Seller Central, once 24 hours have passed, obviously Profit Protector Pro can't detect that in your Amazon account anymore. So it's then going to hide it after 24 hours from the repricing page, so you won't be able to see it anymore. If you replenish that particular item within that 30-day window before it gets deleted, it's going to reappear back in Profit Protector Pro with all of the repricing information still there. So you can get things back within that window, but after 30 days, the item will be permanently deleted from Profit Protector Pro. So if you turn it on, it's basically a little maintenance bot. So you turn it on, and it's going to keep your inventory tidy for you. It's going to delete things that are no longer deleted and keep everything relevant and up to date. So this is super handy. It means you don't have to go through and do this manually. Of course, you can do this if you want to, but it's just a great option to have there. Hopefully this helps, and I'll catch you back in the webinar. There you go. So as I was saying before, it's super important to keep your Profit Protector Pro inventory relevant and up to date, and remove anything that no longer needs to be in there, because that can potentially result in a costly mistake. If you were entering in a min and max price on, like I say, if you have an item where you've replenished it, you've got a couple of entries, a couple of different SKUs for the same ASIN, and you've sold out of a couple of them, they're no longer relevant to you, and say you were going to enter in a new set of min and max pricing parameters, and you accidentally do it on the old one thinking it's the new one that's current, that you're selling right now, it can be a costly mistake because you've not set those new parameters on the new one. It's not going to follow that. It's going to follow the ones that were already on there. And you'd essentially just wasted your time entering in the Minimax on the old one. And you don't actually need that in Profit Protector Pro anymore. So yeah, to help you avoid things like that, it's always a good idea to routinely either manually remove things from your Profit Protector Pro account, or just flick on the toggle and let Profit Protector Pro do it for you. So we haven't got any more questions. If you do have any questions as we go along, please feel free to ping them in the comments, and I'll do my very best to answer them. Yeah, we're going to move on to the next video. I was just thinking which one would be best to do next. I think we're going to do this one next. So I'm going to make this a bit of a thing for the next couple of webinars. So last webinar, I was doing a bit more of an in-depth look into the balanced sales accumulator strategy, just to give you a different approach on how it works. So just in case you'd read the description, you're thinking, is this really the strategy for me? I took a different approach on the balanced sales accumulator. And hopefully, explaining things in a different way can help sometimes. So I thought I'd do the same thing with the aggressive strategies as well, and then I'll move on to a different strategy next time and so forth, explain them in a slightly different way that can help your understanding. So this video is all about the aggressive strategies, and it's just a slightly different take on explaining them. But hopefully, if you won't understand them before, hopefully you do now. So this is the video, and I'll catch you in a couple of minutes. So I'm going to explain the aggressive strategies to you and when you might want to use them. You might have read up on these in the explanation page and been left wondering, when exactly would I use them? I'm still not 100% sure about them. Hopefully this take on the strategies will help you understand even more. So the aggressive strategies, the super aggressive dominator, the aggressive sales generator, and the MF aggressive sales generator, as the name say, are quite aggressive. They're quite competitive. They are focused on pursuing the buy box and making you sales. Now, on the sales and profit spectrum, it doesn't mean they're going to sacrifice profit, by the way. That is not what they're going to do. They're not going to just tank listings. That is just not what they do. They just have a bit more of a sales focus. So very competitive. They will work to get just underneath the buy box, which is why it recommends in the explanation that you set your minimum price to be at least £1 or $1 or €1 cheaper than the buy box price. So that way Profit Protector Pro has got the room to get just underneath the buy box. Now this will put you in a favorable position to win the buy box. And once Profit Protector Pro has done that for you, it's then going to hold the buy box and work to bump the price up. So it doesn't just sit there. It doesn't tank the listing and just remain there. That is not what Profit Protector Pro is about, hence the name of the software. It's then going to work to bump the price up as best as it can. So it's going to try different sizes of jumps. It might try a bunch of like little jumps. It might try a big jump. It might try a medium-sized jump. It will just try to bump the price up as best as it can. Now, what it's doing with this is it's trying to find a sweet spot where it can both hold the buy box and make you as much money as it possibly can. If it fails to do this, if say someone else undercuts you, they win the buy box. If it loses the buy box, however it is that it does that, Profit Protector Pro will then keep trying it again and again and again until it finds that sweet spot. So these aggressive strategies are perfect if you are on a busy listing where you've got a lot of competitors, particularly if Amazon are on the listing as well. If you have an item where you do have a sales focus, your target for the item is just to sell it, you just want to win the buy box and sell the item, then these strategies are perfect. Now the MF aggressive sales generator is recommended for if you are an FBM seller or if you have items that you are fulfilling yourself. Basically, this means that they have an FBM competition focus, and they will take into account your merchant fulfilled shipping settings that you've set up in your account in Profit Protector Pro. So again, they're not designed to tank listings. They won't sacrifice your profit completely. It's just a different approach when it comes to repricing if your focus is sales and if you want to aggressively pursue the buy box in order to win it. That's all it is. They work great on busy listings, on ones where you've got a lot of competitors. Again, particularly if you've got a lot of FBA sellers or Amazon on there, these are perfect for that. Hopefully this has helped your understanding of what they do. Perhaps these are the kind of strategies that you've been looking for. You just weren't 100% sure about them. Well, now you can go ahead, rest assured that they're going to perform really, really well for you. If you were, say, using a like the cautious sales enhancer or something like that before, and you felt like you could be a bit more aggressive and competitive on the listing, switch it up to an aggressive strategy and see how much it changes things. Hopefully this helps. Back to the webinar. So on the back of that as well, if you are on a listing where you have a suppressed buy box, if you're not sure what a suppressed buy box is, that's basically where there is no buy box on the listing. It's been taken away. You have like the box there that has add to basket and buy now, that's gone. It's not there. If you have a listing with a suppressed buy box, it's always a good idea to set yourself an aggressive strategy. That way, when the buy box reappears, Profit Protector Pro is there, ready to go. As soon as it reappears, it'll grab it and you're off to the races. So it's a good idea to set that on a listing with a suppressed buy box. And as well, if you were struggling with setting minimum prices as well, what exactly do I set as my minimum price? If you set the minimum price on your listing as a pound or a euro or a dollar cheaper than the buy box, as the aggressive strategy says, then that's going to be the most effective thing for that strategy. So if you're wondering, what exactly do I set, the strategies can give you a bit of advice on how you should set your min and max prices. And I believe for the merchant fulfilled aggressive sales generator, that recommends at least 10% below the buy box. Hello there, hope you're doing fine as well. Right, so speaking of strategies, we're now going to move on to the custom strategies. So all of the preset strategies in Profit Protector Pro are amazing. They work really, really well, but sometimes you might just find that there's a certain situation that calls for a specific something to happen. And this is where you can dictate how exactly Profit Protector Pro is going to reprice your items. You can choose exactly what you want it to do. It's an amazing little addition to the software. I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to let the video play, and then I'll get back to you in a couple of minutes. Here's the custom strategies. Hey, I'm going to be talking you through custom strategies. Now, Profit Protector Pro has got a range of amazing preset algorithmic strategies and rule-based strategies, but from time to time, you might come across a scenario where you want Profit Protector Pro to do a specific something in terms of repricing. And this is where custom strategies come in really, really useful. Or you might come across a certain situation that needs a custom strategy, and therefore the option is here should you need it. Now, in order to set up a custom strategy, all you need to do is click on New Custom Strategy, and it will bring up this wizard. So what it's going to do is it's going to ask you a series of questions, and all you need to do is just answer it in any way that you want to answer it. So what fulfillment method do you wish to compete with? So all sellers, which is both FBA and merchant fulfilled, or just FBA or just merchant fulfilled. So let's say I'm an FBA seller. I want to focus on the FBA competition. Let's go ahead and go for that one. What condition do you wish to compete with? So all conditions, or just new, which is probably what you'll want to go for if you are selling new items. If you are selling used items, you have the choice of all used conditions, or you can pick a specific used condition if you're trying to target specific competition. So let's go ahead and select new. I'm a new seller. What should Profit Protector Pro do in this scenario? Now you'll have a series of scenario questions that are focused on the buy box and the sellers on the listing. So there is no buy box, and there are other sellers with the selected fulfillment method and condition. So there's no buy box, but there are other sellers with our fulfillment method and condition. So we could go to our minimum price, maximum price, or break even. We can match another seller's low, mid, or high price, and we can choose if that's the FBA or merchant fulfilled seller on the listing. We can go a certain amount over or under our break even, the other seller's low price, mid price, or high price, and again you have the choice of the FBA or merchant fulfilled seller. Or we can express that as a percentage, so we can go a certain percentage over or under, and it's all of those same options. There's no buy box, there are other sellers. Let's go to my min price, just to put me in a favorable position, ready for when the buy box comes back onto the listing. There is no buy box, and there are no other sellers with the selected fulfillment method and condition. So if this happens, let's go to our max price. That way, if a buy box does populate onto the listing, it will start at a higher price, and other sellers that join the listing will have to set their prices around your max price. So it just means that you can potentially make more money on the listing. What should Profit Protector Pro do in this scenario? There is a buy box, and there are other sellers with a selected fulfillment method and condition. So let's then go and match the buy box price just to keep us competitive. What should Profit Protector Pro do in this scenario? There is a buy box, and there are no other sellers with a selected fulfillment method and condition. So I've selected FBA. There's no other FBA sellers on the listing, just merchant fulfilled. Now the fact that I am FBA does give me a slight advantage. So I'm going to go a couple of quid over the buy box price. So let's just say 2. Next, you have the buy box. What repricing action do you want to take? So you've got a couple of extra options in here. You have the same ones that you had before, so go to, match, and then you can go a certain amount or a certain percentage over or under. Other pricing on the listing. We can choose for it to do nothing, or we can switch the strategy. So let's say we are on the hybrid profit harvester, but we really want to maintain our hold over the buy box and want to be really competitive in how we do actually maintain a hold over it. So let's switch our strategy to the super aggressive dominator. And then it moves on to automation. So you can then proceed to set up an automation within the custom strategy wizard. You can always end it here and then go back and make your automation in the automation section if you prefer. You might want to do it that way, as you have the other wizard options in the automation section, or you can go ahead and set up an additional automation within the custom strategy wizard. So an automation is kind of like it's kind of like having a plan B, I suppose. So if a certain scenario happens on the listing, you can get Profit Protector Pro to perform a specific action for you. So let's say, for example, you've not had sales on the item in 3 days. Instead of you having to monitor that listing and then make a change yourself in order to try and prompt sales, you can set up a preset action in advance, which Profit Protector Pro will perform if that item hasn't sold in 3 days, and that is the automation. So it's kind of like a safety net. It makes Profit Protector Pro a whole lot more automated, hence the name. Means that you can be a bit more hands-free and leave the work to Profit Protector Pro. But we are going to end that here. So that is the custom strategy section of Profit Protector Pro. Once we have made it and we're happy with it, we then just need to save it. So we can give it a name. And then we can also leave a description for the strategy as well, just to remind us of what it is, what we made it for, how it works, whatever you want to enter into the description. And once you're happy with it, you just need to click on save. Then, as we can see, the strategy that we just made, it has appeared here. So we get the name, the description, the last time that we edited the strategy. And then in order to use this, we just need to toggle it as active. So mark it as on. We can view how we set this up using the information button here. We can go back in and edit it in the wizard, or we can delete it if we no longer need it. So once we've marked it as active, we'll then be able to select this as a strategy in the repricing page on the Chrome extension, and we'll be able to apply this when we use the bulk inventory spreadsheet as well. So custom strategies, as I say, they are great if we want Profit Protector Pro to perform a particular action when it comes to repricing. You'll never know when you need them, but the option is there. With how the wizard is set up as well, it means that there are no gaps in building that custom strategy. So it's not going to mess up or go wrong. You can set it any way you like and then apply it to any listings that you want to apply it to. So that is the custom strategy section in Profit Protector Pro. Let's get back to the webinar. Yep, so that is custom strategies. It's a fantastic option in case you want Profit Protector Pro to do a certain something in a very specific situation. So you can answer those questions however you like. So you can get it to do whatever it is that you want it to do when there is a buy box, but there's none of the selected competition. You know, whatever you want it to do when you have the buy box. And then you also have the option at the end to utilize the power of the preset algorithmic strategies by switching the strategy. So you can get it to do exactly what you want. And then once you have the buy box, you can literally just hand it over to any of those preset strategies. So you can set it up to do exactly what you want it to do. Maybe that's the only bit that you wanted to change, just how exactly it wins the buy box and what to do in those specific scenarios. Maybe how the preset ones work wasn't quite what you were hoping for in that certain situation. But you've got that covered in the custom strategies, and then you can get it to do one of those actions that I mentioned in the video, or hand it over to one of the preset strategies. It's completely up to you, and then let the preset strategy maintain a hold over the buy box for you and work to raise the price, making you more money. So that leads me to our last video. Now, I am not 100% sure if this video is going to work. I don't see why it shouldn't work. Everything looks fine with it, except from when I put it in our little live streaming platform. I'm not sure if it's going to work. So fingers crossed it works. It's going to be about automations if it does work, which links on very nicely from custom strategies. Hopefully this works. If it does, I'll see you in a couple of minutes. So we'll talk you through automations, which is a great way of being a lot more hands-free in your Amazon business. So basically, if a certain scenario was to occur on a listing, you can get Profit Protector Pro to perform a preset action in order to then remedy that certain scenario that has then happened. So it helps you not have to monitor your inventory so much, and you don't have to look out for these scenarios. You don't then have to make the changes yourself. You can leave it all to Profit Protector Pro if you have an automation set up. So it's kind of like having a plan B on any listings that you set up, just in case a certain something happens. Profit Protector Pro has got you covered. So I'm going to show you how to set up a new automation. All you need to do is come to automations and click on new automation. It'll ask you what setup method you want to use, so either wizard or flow. Wizard is the exact same layout that you get when you make a custom strategy, so it's going to walk you through each step one by one. Whereas with flow view, you can see everything that you're doing as you go along. So I'm going to show you flow view, and then you'll have a series of conditions. So after an automation has been active for, when seller numbers increase or decrease to, when stock falls below, when no sales have occurred for, if buy box goes below your minimum or above your maximum. So let's say the buy box goes below my minimum price. I then might just want to go to minimum, so that way I'm as close to the buy box as I can get. Obviously, Profit Protector Pro is not going to reprice outside of my set min and max price parameters. So the buy box is below my minimum. I want Profit Protector Pro to move to my minimum price. There's other options in there as well, so you can switch your strategy to, you can match the low FBA, mid FBA or high FBA price, same with the merchant fulfilled options there. There's also a buy box option, but obviously if the buy box is below your minimum, that's not going to be feasible. You can go a certain amount over or under one of these prices as well. So maybe if the buy box goes below your minimum and you know how much that's going to be, maybe you want it to go a certain amount above the buy box, or maybe you want it to go above or below another one of these sellers' prices here. And you can express that as a regular currency value or as a percentage. So let's go to minimum. Let's add another condition as well. So you can actually leave your automation like that. You can just have the one condition, keep it really simple, or you can go ahead and make as many conditions as you like. So condition 2, let's say seller numbers increase to, let's say there's only a couple on the listing. Let's say there's about 6 and it increases to 12. Let's say we are on a more passive profit focused strategy like hybrid profit harvester or the balance sales accumulator. So more sellers have joined the listing. We want to remain competitive. Let's then switch the strategy to the aggressive sales generator. So being a bit more competitive, a bit more aggressive to help us maintain a hold over the buy box when it falls back into our parameters. Add another condition, condition 3, when stock falls below. So let's say we had 25 in stock, let's say it falls below 5. We then might want to switch our strategy to something like the cautious sales enhancer, for example, just something a little bit more laid back, so that way we can conserve that stock, so that we have a bit more time to replenish our stock again. So you can set up the automation in whatever way you like. You can set any condition, any action, whatever meets your needs. So once you have completed your automation, you can then click on save, and then it will save that right here. You need to make sure that it's toggled on in order to appear in the automations list, so you can apply it to your listings. You can go back and edit it, or indeed delete it if you no longer need that automation. So if you come to repricing, you can set that automation, and then as soon as the exact scenario happens, the automation will trigger as active. It will tell you that it is currently active next to where it says automation here, so you'll know when it's on, when the preset action is being applied. But yeah, it's just a great plan B to have as well as your repricing strategy. So the repricing strategy is going to work amazingly, but then just in case a certain something happens, you've got the automation as a kind of safety net. Again, it means you can be a lot more hands-free. You don't have to keep going back and checking on these things so much. You can leave it all to Profit Protector Pro to do, and it will look after your stock for you. Let's get back to the webinar. So I'm really happy that that works. I don't know what's going on there. Like on my end, it looked like it was going to work. Like a little like weird symbol on it, and it wasn't working when I tested it earlier. But now it seemed to work. So there you go. You got your automations video, and they are super useful. Even if you don't have your heart set on like creating an automation, like you need it there. Perhaps just making one anyway and applying it to listings works as an excellent plan B. You know, just in case that certain scenario happens. It might not happen, it might never happen, but if it does happen, you'll be grateful that the automation was there. Again, as I say, it means that you don't have to spend so much time looking over your inventory, trying to spot the item that falls into that certain scenario, and then, oh, I've got to go and change this now, and then find everything else that also is having that same issue, and then make those same changes for those items too. Make an automation, apply it to those listings, and let Profit Protector Pro do all of the heavy lifting. If you do make an automation and you want to apply it to a lot of your listings, and obviously it might not be feasible to go through every single one individually in Profit Protector Pro and apply that automation, you can add it in the bulk inventory CSV spreadsheet that you get from that section. So provided that it is toggled on in Profit Protector Pro and you download yourself your CSV sheet, in the little automation column, just enter in the exact same name that you gave the automation when you set it up, add that in the spreadsheet, and then obviously make any other changes that you want to make within that spreadsheet, save it, keep it as a CSV, upload it to Profit Protector Pro, and then it will apply that automation and any other changes to any listings that you applied it to. So that's how you can sort of like bulk add an automation to your inventory. So that brings me to the end of this month's webinar. I will be back again in next month. If you are a BuyBot Pro user, I will see you in 2 weeks. That happens monthly as well. If you're new to Profit Protector Pro and BuyBot Pro, we run these webinars once a month. So the BuyBot Pro one is once a month.